Hey everybody, welcome back. We are jumping into the world of the Stanley Parable once again. Haven't started the game up yet. It asked me what time it was, and I forgot from the last time. It asked me to put my favorite time, and then it made a comment. I ended up putting the accurate time, and then it made a comment about, I couldn't resist putting the regular time or whatever. So it's asking me right now, is 11:06 the actual accurate time, or is it not? Did I just put a random time? But I couldn't resist. So we'll tell the truth. It was the accurate time. Can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. Excuse me. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip a couple of new ones up. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. All right, so this is actually the second set of Stanley Parable. It feels like forever since I played it last. I've been throwing, or uploading bits of streams and Super Mario RPG alongside Stanley as well. Stanley was the first thing I uploaded, and now we're jumping back into set two. I'm debating if I want to just do a good chunk of this game right now and then just kind of cut it, or maybe just sporadically play it, but we'll see. I do want to get like a good amount of the game taken care of. Let's see how many endings we can get today. Just see how we can change things up. But yeah, let's jump into it. And I hope the mic is doing well. I got a new microphone, so hopefully the audio is doing well and I don't have to change anything. But yeah, other than that, excited to play.
This is the story of a man.
We'll just go ahead and skip because we already know the story. Make sure everything's running right. All right. So yeah, let's go on out there.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What is this? Figurine Finders Committee. Oh, that's right. So we have all these little upgrades to the game. And we are going... What the hell? That wasn't there before. We're going to... I don't know, take a look around. Oh, we got the
Stanley
bucket.
lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Sweet. I don't know if the game will ever revert back to the way it was before, or if it's just permanently got this stuff now. Not that I mind. I dig it.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So I think what we'll do is I'll go the normal way until we get to a certain part that I want to check out. But it's a little further on down the line. So we'll go through all of this main stuff that they usually ask us to do. Oh, this is cool too. Trust the completionist instinct. Why wouldn't they just tell us something will happen in this investigation? This room, they feel pointless, to be honest. Small floating objects have appeared across the office. We have to synergize our resources to ensure their retrieval. There are many questions. There was no memo from management. Agenda, how can you tell we've spotted one? What makes them float in the air? Who took these pictures of them? So this is cool. I definitely like all the little adjustments that they've made. Follow clues provided by employee 416. We can do it. Red room. Figlies, that's what they call them. There will be a reward. Thank you, good luck. Maybe we are the collectibles. Shut the frick up. To whom it may concern, I managed to pick up sounds unusual to our regular office ambiances or local audio sources using an array of cardioid microphones, also known as directional mic, a microphone which picks up sound from a particular area. Analysis of the recordings allowed me to triangulate the source of the strange noises. Data shows that, in all likelihood, it's coming from a dark area behind a very warm place. I also picked up what looks to be a reverberance off a porcelain surface. Have any leads on this? Wouldn't you like to know? What, is somebody on a mic in a bathroom? I don't know. Any figurines in here? Can I crouch? Yeah. Mission status. Inside a sequence. Places to search. I wonder if these are crossed off because I found these. Like, I know I definitely got the sequel Exhibit 1 and the bathroom one. The nearby a fireplace? I don't remember that one, but I do remember I got a third one. So I wonder if those get crossed off as we find them.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
What?
The broom closet. It wants
Oh,
the
yeah, we
bucket.
already did that.
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of coming to a staircase,
Mm-hmm.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah, because I remember we got a figurine in here. I don't remember where that fireplace one was.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may
What was
have
the
broken
code
down
again?
into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light
I know it's
pierce the
too-
dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk, nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket.
I don't know why
did
I
he
keep
have any
thinking,
notion
like,
that the
these
pin number
numbers.
for the keypad was 28.
Ah, 2845. Come on.
But Stanley guessed the correct
All
code
right.
was line. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
So there's a
Was
path
the bucket
just
guiding
shortly
him?
after this that I want to
Yes,
take.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
I thought I was going to fall. This looked like an empty hole. So instead of going into the mind control facility, we are going to take a small path right before we enter that
The
main
elevator raced
room.
downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Just messing with the audio. Still getting used to the settings on this mic, but the audio sounds really good on it.
Stanley
So
and the bucket walked straight ahead through the
this
vast
is where I
hall
wanna go.
read, Mind control facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
oh, well, we'll find out, I guess.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No, we must keep pushing
At
forward.
this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Oh God. We're going in. Did we actually die? Oh shit! Oh, we're trapped here. Oh, we're in a little mine cart. Oh God, no. Oh no 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 no.
Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise. Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out.
No, come on, man.
To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself.
No!
For wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere.
No!
Farewell, Stanley.
Oh shit.
Farewell, Stanley,
What?
cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Oh, is it just not showing us this part? Oh God. We're changing the game. The narrator has been killed and replaced with a new lady narrator.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own
What?
way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Damn, this is fancy. Oh no, it's an obituary. Oh, no, it's not. The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge, much like a bucket itself. The human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Jesus. Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? Got a sick-ass chair here so we can have an existential crisis and comfort.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and
The
to claim
fuck?
it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Where's that bucket going? Is it going to heaven? Wonder if we go up there and jump or something. Let's see. 25 buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. You know, somehow this doesn't seem like 25, but I never learned to count, so what the fuck do I know? A bucket with two handles. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Jesus Christ. Imagine making a two-handle bucket and the FBI just kicks in your front door. Inferno bucket, a replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains no one can control a bucket. Billions of people. Jesus. The stress bucket, an analogy, worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance, vulnerability equals size and strength of the bucket. Coping strategies equal holes. Stress equals the level of water in the bucket. Rest and relaxation, doing something you enjoy, rest and relaxation. The stress bucket, presented without commentary. More rolly chairs. Oh my God, buckets in caveman times? Cave drawing, while we know... While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts... Jesus. Sometimes I wonder, like, do I actually know how to read? Because I get on the mic and it's like, good Lord. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already Jesus, you see what I'm saying? Good Lord, I was about to say liked. By which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Yes, indeed. They have water, but they're like, how do we get all this water? And then the bucket blessed cave people with its presence. They said, use me as a tool. And then they collected water in the bucket. Yeah, we got water. And then these deer drink water out of the bucket. Yes, indeed. The bucket truly is a god.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one.
Agreed.
It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Oh, here it is. The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, is for our own good. All right, well, we're going in. Yeet! Oh, God. Have I ascended
But there is something
to
we can
godhood?
do, something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Oh, God, no.
Let Stanley die.
No.
Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful
Oh,
bucket.
God.
We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together.
No!
The bucket should take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new
Fuck
world,
that.
a new vision for...
The bucket dies with me. The game just uninstalls. I can't play it anymore. Gets knocked off my Steam. Was that
All
it?
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
All right.
simply missed a memo.
The bucket is there again. Oh, this input thing is here again. Okay, we need to do this how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think if we get normal endings and we restart 4 more times, then we should be able to fill this whole input thing. And then I don't know what that means because I've never done that before. So
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
you know, in another life, me and this bucket died together. My
Stanley
brains
crouched
went
the
right
bucket
into
tightly
it.
to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Now, there is another thing that I want. I think we'll run through this left path and see if we can get multiple endings here.
Coming to a staircase,
I'm not going to go
Stanley
downstairs
and the
yet.
bucket
I'll go
walked
downstairs the
upstairs
next
to
time.
boss's office.
This one is going to take me almost all the way to the ending. But I'm going to make a
Stepping
different
into
decision
Stanley's
at the
office,
ending.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
Yeah,
human.
yeah.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer
Let me
luck.
in.
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding
God,
him?
I'm fucking blind.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
All right. So we're going to get back to the mind control chamber and let's see. There is an ending that I remember, but I don't I think it's like supposed to be one of the bad endings, but
Stanley and the bucket walked
it's
straight ahead through the large
we're just
door.
going to get to the mind control thing, and then when it gives us the option to turn it off, we're just going to turn it on and see what happens.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Television.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it seems like every time I have this bucket, the endings always go horribly for Stanley.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Fired. Where's that pirate guy? Oh my. Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Was the
Sorry.
bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't
Oh, there he
wish to
is.
do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raised
It
furious.
bothers me that like the monitors aren't all even. Like, why are there 2 down there and then like some up there, and like those are just not flush with each other? I hate it.
No! He screamed into the bucket.
No.
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this
If
point, he
we
could trust
can't
no one
have control,
except
nobody
the bucket.
can. We are gonna run this place. Oh god, can't see
But
anything.
here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored
Mind
and commanded
controls
from his
idle,
very place.
awaiting input.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Little does the bucket know I'm about to betray him and everything he believes in. On.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped
Oh no,
in
the
and pressed
bucket
button
turned it
to turn
on.
On the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along?
You son of a
To take over the
bitch.
machine
He was evil the whole time.
himself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust. Then suddenly, an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
Seagulls.
Birds. Silly birds.
Silly
The
birds.
control buttons became active again.
Oh, birds. Oh, this is new.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another.
Oh my
And then it
God.
dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all.
No,
It
it's
was
a bird
for
facility.
monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
Oh.
The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions.
Oh, look at him crinkling his little neck. Oh, look at his little
Stanley
feet.
marveled at the metal genius.
Oh my God, look at his
the one who
fucking
had pointed him
schnoz.
towards this incredible discovery.
Damn, bro.
Stanley and the bucket never found freedom.
Oh, look
because
at
they
these
spent the
guys.
rest of
They
their
look
lives
fancy.
Here in this place, living through live streams of the silliest birds. and
Oh, they got.
legends. Of all the
crests.
possible paths his life could
Are they
have taken,
friends?
this
They're gonna.
one
He's gonna
was
whack
surely
him with
the
his
best.
bird wing.
Stanley.
Oh, he is fancy. Look at that. Look at that little fro he's got. Oh, hey, what the fuck? I wasn't done looking at birds. Okay. Now, that's not usually what happens. I was waiting for like the big scary ending.
All of his co-workers.
I wonder if it's because we have the bucket.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, where's the input thing? God damn it. Ugh. Oh, it's over here. Sorry, I panicked. Okay, 3 more endings. Should we keep bringing the bucket? All right. I'll bring the bucket.
With the bucket in his
Normally
arms,
that ending goes a lot differently. I've never seen that bird thing. That must be a new thing.
the bucket
Just
tightly
maybe
to his
it's
chest.
because I had the bucket. I don't know if I didn't have the bucket, would it turn the mind control facility on? I wasn't done looking at those birds, man. No matter. We're gonna go downstairs now.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs
Psych.
to the
No, I didn't.
boss's office.
Oh!
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies.
No, Figlies. Figlies is better.
What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1?
Figly.
Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
No, do Figly. Trust me. Figly also reminds me of like Fig Newtons, which are delicious. Oh, I
Stanley
remember
just
this.
couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance.
This is all starting to look a little familiar.
That's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket?
Oh, God.
This is all
Oh,
terribly
God.
wrong. Surely no
Oh,
good
no.
can come from this. Who knows what
Oh,
sorts
God.
of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience
Oh, I'm freaking out.
without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
Uh,
Indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating. It was very odd. Now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh,
What?
gracious,
No!
he exclaimed.
Son of a
Where's
bitch.
My bucket, I've gone truly mad.
Ah!
Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me!
The bucket!
Bucket!
Could it truly be? He
Buckets!
walked forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next.
Oh,
None of
no.
them were his. None of them were his.
Oh, God, no!
Come to me,
No! Oh, God, this is a
He had to
nightmare.
return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly,
I'm freaking out.
he was dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him.
No way.
It was incredibly painful. Stanley
I'm not crying.
struggled with
I'm just,
agony
my eye was
and
itchy.
blacked out.
You know, sometimes that is, it's a really good,
Of a woman named Mariella.
excuse me? Oh, I remember this
Woke
now.
up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course, he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she ran on her way to work.
My life kicks ass. You see what no buckets will do to a dude. He was just ranting and raving, screaming to himself, and he keels over and dies in the middle of the sidewalk. No buckets. Ugh, it's sad to see.
Buckets were gone.
I used to work with a guy, a buddy of mine named Eric. He was a big fan of his bucket, and then one day he showed up to work without it, and all of us were in the meeting room. We're like, "Where's Eric's bucket? Where is the input thing? Did that mess up the input thing? Hold on. Enough about Eric and the fucking bucket for a second. Where?
No matter how hard Stanley
Oh,
worked,
shut up!
he
I'm
couldn't
working
find
on
a
it.
trace of his coworker.
Oh man, did that? Maybe it's on a different computer. Let's just keep going. Anyway, so I picked up my bucket because I'm not like Eric, who just doesn't fucking show up to work without his bucket. But yeah, my buddy Eric, we all met with him in the meeting room. We're like, Eric, where the fuck is your bucket, man? Like, you showed up to work without your bucket. And he's like, well, I woke up this morning and thought, you know, like, I could take my bucket to work, but
Telling him
maybe I'll just leave it at home today. And we all just gasped. We're like, are you out of your mind? Why would you leave your bucket at home, you maniac? And he's like, I don't know. I just felt like I could use a change of pace. Long story short, next week, shot himself in the face.
And here it was.
Terrible.
The bucket turned
Absolutely
out to be
tragic.
correct. Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned
The
out.
bucket's never seen the break room. We gotta let him get a look at everything. These blinds we can't open. Oh, we should get a bunch of Mountain Dews and fill the bucket with it.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Yes, yes, indeed. Let's just let the bucket soak it up for a little, a few more seconds.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
Yes, yes. And this is where we would talk with our coworkers.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Yeah, it's almost as if the bucket was meant to be here. And you see, you would have denied the bucket this experience by making us go through that stupid left door. But for now, Bucket, I think he's soaked up enough. We're going to keep going. Keep
The
it
bucket
going.
was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
Is that an elevator? Let's go this way.
And so the
Oh,
two
this is an
walked
elevator.
through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
That's going to lead to the meeting room, which I don't want to go to. Yeah, let's go this way. Oh, yeah. We're going to go see Hank in maintenance. That guy's a real piece of work.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Oh, my God. Not the baby. Oh, the baby's going to be so pissed I let it die in a fire.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much.
Not another
It's
intervention.
this bucket you're carrying around everywhere.
What?
The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content.
That is what
We're
made the game
ones
so
that
much
have,
better.
Stanley, classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet.
I do remember the
Because
line.
That's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen
Hey,
before.
hey, hey, watch your fucking mouth.
I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time.
I
with
don't
it.
even remember who you are.
Another story involving
I remember
the
you.
Adventure Line. We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new.
Oh,
Yes,
God.
Yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Yes. Oh, God, I thought I was going to be trapped in here. I do remember the adventure line. I don't remember if it was like a random thing that happened or if we trigger it somehow. But yeah, let's follow the adventure line, see where it takes us.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Oh, God. Oh.
Now this
Aw.
is what the Stanley Parable
was
is all
vibing.
about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Yep.
Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
That's not true. That was not in
It's
the
as classic
original.
now as it was back
No.
then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
I'm not addicted to drugs and hookers, all right? Nor do we condone that kind of behavior. Is it just me or does this bucket look dirtier than usual? Who designed this building? Oh my God, this looks ominous. Can't we get fun music like we did a second ago? The
Don't
fuck?
you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
No, no, no,
That's
no,
why
no,
I'm
no.
very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
No! Good
I think
lord,
it'll make
it's a little
wonderful
excessive,
new
don't you
addition
think?
To the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well fleshed out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
I am not destroying my
Can
bucket.
you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
Does it brush my teeth?
Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
I am not getting rid of my bucket.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket.
Suck my
I don't
ass.
know
I'm
what
not getting rid of the
Destroyer
bucket.
will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows.
And
That
all I
is
know
its
is the
singular
bucket.
Personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits.
I think
What
you're-
other object in this game
think you're
can you even
exaggerating.
say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset
Oh,
now.
God.
Can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket.
Oh, Jesus.
Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it for the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Oh, good Lord. The Bucket Destroyer was clearly powered by nuclear power or something? What the fuck is going on?
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Magnificent. Oh, excuse me. That was such an ordeal, it made me tired. Yeah, fuck the Bucket Destroyer. I make my own rules.